back to the series of the Hobbycraft Dollhouse. Today I have been busy doing all the plans for the rooms, deciding what's going where and how it's going to be decorated. This is going to be a Welsh dresser for in the kitchen. The bottom part I had made, it came with a kit for a dollhouse kit. So I'm putting a top on. I made this top bigger because I want to put this on. I keep bending that back down and then I can't get it on. I want to put the meat grinder mincer thing on, and it wouldn't fit on the little top that it had on before. So that's going on there. I have to glue my shelves on. I've made 2 shelves so far and put little grooves in for plates. So unfortunately I won't be able to glue them on with the dresser in an upright position. So if you bear with, I will stick my first shelf on, making sure I have the correct one. I will no doubt spend the whole evening picking super glue off my fingers, as I have just glued them together. Does anybody use a super glue and not glue everything bar what they want to glue with it? Because I always get in a mess. Use a bit of accelerator. I got super glue on this dress and it was really hard and it made a hole, so I've had to stitch that up. So we have the first shelf in place, and now I need to work out where the next shelf is going to go. That doesn't look too bad. I've put this shelf a little bit higher to make way for the things that I will be putting on the top. So there. Might put that down a little bit lower because I know I'm putting I have some really tiny things. That's always where you don't want them to be. Tiny cups and saucers. This is a saucer, one of them. If I can pick it up now, I've got super glue all over my fingers. So if that will go in there, like so. Yeah, we don't need, that'll be fine I think. So I'll just check that my measurements are something like so. 19. See. Micro movements, it's impossible. think that'll be all right. We'll mark. Ow! Do you know I'm going to have more splinters at the end of the day. I'll mark it with my wooden pen that's got measurements on, and that's moved. These marks don't matter because it is being painted. There. So now we'll stick that shelf in place with a splinter in my hand. Nice. Oops. See if I could do this one without sticking myself to it. No, it's trying to stick before I'm ready. You need to go down in there. That should be okay. Oops. There. So I will put a groove in there to make it look like two drawers. They don't open. This yeah, it doesn't open. It was just a cheap little kit. So then I need to decide to put the bits of wood, if I can, down the side. I did contemplate doing this, but then I think it's unbalanced. The tiniest little splinter, and it's, oh, do you know? Right, so I will cut another one of these. Oh, if you can see, fancy bits of wood with my trusty cutter. It's a little bit temperamental. I'm wanting one of those little Proxen mini table saws. Well, I'm going to have to hope that people love me lots on my birthday to get one of those. Make light work of a lot of this. If I can line that up. And brush. There. And then give it a little file with a trusty nail file. You should always have an arsenal of nail files in hand when doing miniatures. So then that will be stuck on there. If I can just make sure the shelves are sitting okay. Otherwise it won't sit right. That's that. Now I can pop this bit on here. A bit. And now for the other. As we speak, Steph is painting a lovely carved mirror gold. So do look out for that video. There. So we have looks like it's leaning back, but it's okay when it's on the mat. It'll be alright when it's in its tiny little house. It's got sticky stuff on the back where I had them all stuck on some double-sided tape. But that'll have to come off because that will bug me. Now my nail's stuck to my thumb. Nice. So now I need to decide on the top. It should be, now they're two. I think it needs to have a piece of this cut. Sorry. Have a piece of this cut to size. Could I put a piece of that across, or that's a bit boring, isn't it? This used to be on top of this white table. So I think that's two. If it had a top on, just mocking things up. Actually, I don't think that would fit in the house now with that on, to be honest. Obviously this has all got to be cut to size. No, that will not fit, I'm pretty sure. Because we are looking at, let me measure. We are only, let me measure it with a ruler that's not a scale ruler. Because that's just weird. 12 centimetres. And that, oh dear, just over 12. No, there's no chance of having that on there. If it's a little bit tall, I can always take a bit off them feet. I didn't measure that very well, did I? Right. How tall is this? So I'll be right back. I'm just going to sand some off of this. There. So it fits in now. It should fit in fine with another piece of wood on. Let me just check. Yes. So I'll do some measuring for that and be right back. So here I am, back again. I didn't get any measurements done because I got shouted downstairs for a cup of tea. So just climbed 2 flights of stairs. That's why I'm blowing, because I'm out of condition. I am on a diet, so all things are looking up. There. So mark this. So that's what I've got to cut out. That'll be fun. We'll try it. With a craft knife. Sorry, I can't give you super good shots at the minute, but hopefully tomorrow I'll get my rigging up and things will improve. And on Thursday we've got a self-leveling gimbal coming. So if we go out and about thrifting or looking at the beautiful scenery in Derbyshire, it shouldn't make you feel seasick. I like this line I'm cutting. Oh dear. God blimey. There. Bit of filing. I've been informed that all is going well with painting the mirror, and she's started on some picture frames now. Clean up a bit. Right, does this fit? Is that the way I did it? Yes, it was. Brilliant. Well, that was easier than I was expecting. Sorry. Keep forgetting. See, I took it off now and I'm not sure. I'm gluing myself to it again. Ah! Oh, I'm alive. There. Oh. Just checking that my mic's on. I never checked before I started. It's a good job it is. Ooh, nice. So we have a top. Need to do something in it. So that's a bit boring. And that's boring. But could I not do a piece? I could do this. If I did that and did on the sides as well. Yes, that might be good. Bear with, I will go and get another length of wood. And I'm back. I'm sure you didn't want to hear me walking across the loft floor. It creaks terribly. So, spare you that pain. So if that goes there. Need to measure it. I think I'll have to sand the miters. Because this is not going to be square by any stretch of the imagination, but it should look pretty, and that's all that matters. Okay, so that can go there, and this can be cut off. Hope it doesn't flate across the room. It usually does with this. There. The thing with this, it crushes it. It does. So that will go on the side at the top. And then I need, let me just cut this point off because that's going to throw it all out. Right, so if I can work out. And mark that. I can just faintly see the line. And then that will want sanding. Apologies if you can hear the dog barking. Somebody's just knocked at the door. He's a bit mental. Not even in shot here, am I? This is tiny. So that's them. And then if I start filing this one, it'll give me some idea where to cut the next one. Make sure it's level. I find the right piece. Right. Let me just see. Ooh. Definitely not 45 degrees. God, there's not going to be out left to this by the time I've done. Tiny little thing. Let's try again. Take some of the edge off of this, that's too bigger. Get in there. Well, so you need about 4 hands. I think that'll do for that side. Just get a bit of that excess off, and we'll stick this piece on. If my glue's not clogged up again. That's one bit. Now, if that fits on there okay, yeah, it's alright, it's never going to be perfect on here. Let's take a bit more. No. Oh, that's quite good actually. Right, so I'll mark that there. Trim this. There. And do this edge. Doesn't take long to sand this stuff down. You can soon end up with nothing if you're not careful. So just that side, that on there. That on there. And then this. On there. Right, I think this is alright, so we'll put the front on. Are we coming out? Pop this one on. That's nice. And now figure out this last piece. Try and get you a little bit better fitting. Yeah, I don't want it perfect, I want it to look like it's a sort of Welsh dresser that they've inherited, you know, like you do when you get big furniture from people that used to have lots of money in bigger houses, and it gets handed down and handed down until it ends up being a little cottage with somebody that hasn't really got room. That's why it's touching the ceiling. So don't like that. Is it? Don't need much at all, that one actually. Just don't. Want too bigger. Visible, yeah. I mean, you can always mix glue and sawdust to fill any gaps. Which is what I think I might do, because it's getting silly now. Does that work? Just clip. Right. Come on. You're not wasting most of your super glue because it disappears, it goes hard. If I can just this one's not joined as good at all. It has a little top now. So yes, I may get some wood glue and some sawdust and just fill all these little gaps and give it a sand. And get some of this horrible sticky stuff off. So these slats on the back of the dresser are, let me just take the stuff out there, literally lollipop sticks. Now these I have taken the ends off because these are prepared ready for doing wood flooring or wood panelling. But yeah, lolly sticks, and I have got box upon box upon box of lolly sticks, so they're really useful. It looks good on a Welsh dresser, I think. I did have to chop some off the feet as well. Plus I didn't measure. Not properly anyway. I think it slopes slightly actually, the floor above. Yeah. So that's that. I need to cut a groove in the middle. So I shouldn't have to measure actually. I've got a line already, look. So if I work out, no, that's a bit too. I just have to hang it off the edge of the table, I think. There. Sorry, you can't see, can you? That should do. Where's my pen gone? Can't see my wooden pen for all the wood. That's good, isn't it? So I need to cut that bit out. So it looks like two drawers. Find some nice bits to use for handles. See if I can do this without ruining it. Oh, it's not bad actually. Use that one. There. I took a little bit. I'm not going to get in very well with this big file. There. So then I haven't cut through there, that's pen that makes it look like that. So that's that. A bit of filling and sanding, and then it's ready for paint. So back again, I've mixed some sawdust with some wood glue, and now I'm going to attempt to put some in these large gaps. Because I'm a firm believer things don't have to be perfect, but as long as you've tried your best and put as much effort in as you can possibly manage, then that's fine, isn't it? What do the Japanese say? Wabi sabi. That's what they do. An antique Welsh dresser would not be perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but doesn't that look better? That's brilliant. I'm impressed with that. So let's try and put, I might have to get a brush of sorts, cheap brushes that you don't mind if you have to throw away from Temu. Don't want to get it all in the detail of the wood, the fancy wood. Because that will just spoil it. You can see I'm just filling the gap here at the bottom. Get some there, that's better. I have to do the other side. It's not horrendous, but why I've got it mixed, might as well make sure everything's nice and neat. Because if it does end up being a lighter colour, all these gaps will stand out like a sore thumb. Because it will create a dark line. I love making miniatures. There's so many things we use in our everyday life and throw away that can be converted into something amazing. Just like they used to years ago when they made a doll's house for their child and they couldn't afford to go out and buy, well, not many people could afford to go out and buy a off the peg dollhouse for the child. Usually Dad made it in his shed, and I think they mean more than something off the peg. I mean, if I was a millionaire, which let me tell you, I certainly am not, I still wouldn't go out and just buy everything. I can't see the point. Anybody can do that. If you've got money, anybody can do that. You should make it and have some pride, and it's just nice to sit back and say, I made that. And people say, oh, where did you get that from? Gives you good endorphins, good for your mental health, and you lose yourself in miniatures. You know, I think that's looking pretty tidy, don't you? That's the top filled. Put a little bit more in this corner. Oh, the underneath I've not done. I watch a lot of YouTube, but well, I only watch YouTube. I don't watch normal TV. I watch a lot of YouTubers that restore furniture, and it's amazing how many tips you can get from them, and that will be useful in miniatures and stuff. I watch Transcend Furniture, I think it is, Mad City Modern, and oh, what's he called? Flipping Might be flipping furniture or something. They're all very good at what they do. Patience of a saint. With some furniture that they bend. You would never dream that it would be possible to make it look how they do. And if you're saving things from landfill, that's good. Get in there. Just make sure it's right in them grooves. You can see it, but it's... I don't think it's actually a hole anymore. Can you see daylight through it yet? A bit there. No, you don't really see the back, but you never know. In 100 years from now, we might be on Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, in his dreams. But no, I think that's enough. We'll let that dry. Ready for the next stage. See you soon.